Please watch anime with me. Please, I have no friends.
Listen, if you're anyone who knows anything, you've absolutely noticed the whole growing normality of anime as a whole. Up until a couple years ago, bringing up anime around people would get you kicked to the curb before you could gush about the complexities of Death Note. Then, somewhere along the line, and mostly thanks to COVID and the internet, anime is basically mainstream now. Still, it's sorta looked at as a weird niche subset beyond the big name titles. This is in part because I know that if you don't watch anime, you probably just see the gratuitous power scaling, comically dramatic shouting, and continued over-sexualization of women. But I promise you, it's more than that. It's emotional, it's thrilling, it's show-stopping, it's everything you could ever ask for in 2D animation. And more importantly, it's grown to influence amazing products far from the shores of its birthplace. Or just a mainland away. You'll discover that Chinese companies really like to roleplay as Japanese ones. Anyway, anime has obviously taken many forms, from the gritty 90s classics to the modern-day witch's brew of isekai, battle shonen, and aura. Not that I'm ragging on modern media, I just mean that anime branches out in a way that almost no other medium can. Compare Trigun and Trigun Stampede to things like Bleach and Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. An at-a-glance lighthearted space western eventually got replaced by the swank and style of Soul Reapers and Shinigami. The same thing. If you want to go a step further, then pitch Hellsing up against something like Mayanaka Punch. Both shows are about vampires, but one is about live streaming and the other is Hellsing. Still, they're fun to watch and have something you can take away from them, like all stories told. They're just packaged in a way that is alien to most audiences, but it doesn't make them any less worth your time. They're certainly worth my time, and here's one reason why. Presentation. Anime, as a subset of animation, is just so lovely to look at. Standout palettes combined with flashy character design make for wonderful eye candy, and different studios have such interesting approaches to production, such as animation styles, how they compose, the way they write, and it makes for such a vibrant and varied selection. Being someone that grew up watching animated shows like Wildcrats, Arthur, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, I naturally gravitated towards anime as a whole. I adored the style and the way that they drew people, and especially the way that anime could afford to be so much more fantastical and flashy compared to most things I was exposed to as a kid. You're telling me that Slifer the Sky Dragon just gets stronger and stronger with every card in hand, and spell traps don't affect it, and it automatically hits whatever monster Yugi puts down? How's he gonna get through this? It was stuff like that which gently nudged me into the weeb kiddie pool, and from there it just got worse. I very distinctly remember watching some high school romance that I can't remember the name of. There was a scene where two students were on the rooftop of the school and were stargazing with a telescope. It's a scene that reminds me today why I enjoy anime so much. Yeah, it was an extremely forgettable show, but it still had moments of, wow, look at how pretty that is. And every show is capable of doing that in some way.
カレンははしゃいでたけど泣いてた。8月2日はカレンの命日だ。
However, I'm sure you know that people like anime for much less sentimental reasons, and I'm sure you're just dying for me to bring up everyone's favorite power level measuring contests, the fights. The fights are amazing in anime. I'm going to be using some examples that are on the mildly violent side, so skip ahead if you don't do well with blood, gore, and broken bones. But if you're still around, take a look at episode 8 of Monogatari Tsuruga Monkey Part 3.
Yo. Lady Devil の左腕だけじゃなく、カンバル本人も僕を攻撃しようとしている。無意識にカンバルは拒否しているんだ。二つの願いが叶わないこと、僕を殺さないこと。カンバルは戦場ヶ原を諦める気がない。
The way this scene is directed is just such a nice back and forth of reactions while still keeping a really good flow. You can derive so much from these characters just from this single scene, and it means so much more when you actually know the context and can appreciate it. Battles are fun to watch, yeah, but the best part of any fight is what comes before and after. If you're not into senseless violence and aren't sold by that, that's perfectly fine. I said anime does visual presentations super well, and I really mean it. My all-time favorite anime, Violet Evergarden, follows a former soldier turned scribe slowly adjusting to civilian life after the end of a brutal war. The trick is that she's borderline emotionless, very often compared to a doll or some kind of attack dog. And in episode 7, a playwright named Oscar contracts her to help him write a play, and remarks that she looks an awful lot like his now deceased daughter, which he's still struggling to grapple with. It all comes to a head when Violet is asked by Oscar to walk on the lake as his long-gone daughter once promised, resulting in this absolutely dreamy scene.
Could you walk towards me from over there? I'd like to visualize it.
I only need to walk?
Yes, across the fallen leaves on the lake if you can.
Copy that.
Huh? No, that last bit was just...
Try crossing this lake too. Do you think I could walk on those leaves? One day. I promise to show you one day. Okay, Daddy?
How I wish I could hear you call me that 1,000 times more. I wish you didn't have to die. If only you could have lived, grown up. Oh, I wish that for you.
I almost made it the entire way. Sir? What's the matter? Are you feeling ill?
I said to her after granting me this miracle, I didn't believe there was a God, but if there were, it would be you.
You'll find that anime always does a pretty good job of conveying emotion with two-dimensional cat people. I know that those are two very different extremes though. On one hand you have the philosophical think about life stories and the less thought-provoking slapfests. If you're more of a middleman, or woman or person, stuff like Spy X Family, Cosmic Princess Kaguya, Wandering Witch, and the entire slice of life and comedy genres cut out most of the tense action sequences in favor of something that's just plain fun to watch. You won't really have to worry about some big bungus coming along and turning your favorite Scrimblow into cane toad puree. Setting aside animal cruelty, that's the other reason I keep coming back to anime. I mentioned it at the very start. The amount of options that exist are so expansive and diverse. Cutesy, dramatic, dark, realistic, techno, surrealist, whatever you want, just pop the hood and peep the horror. You'll definitely feel the culture shock at first, but if you dig past the needless fan service and uninspired schlock, you'll come out of my anime list with a profound realization. That love of life, that core humanity, and that desire to tell a story are all lovingly written in the same way it is with any work of art. And here's the crux of what I'm trying to say. No matter how differently prepared a piece of media is, it's still worth picking apart and enjoying. Someone spent time on it and wanted to put themselves out there to entertain or educate you. Even when it comes to an author or message you disagree with, there's something to be learned or enjoyed from everything you consume. Lord knows J.K. Rowling was a teaching experience for everyone. It's also just fun. If you've ever seen a Gacha Life video and came out a changed person, you'll know what I mean. Trying new things is always a blast of what the heck is going on, or this is way cooler than I imagined it to be. So, enough preaching. Let's get you started on some anime. You want a show for the thinker? Hit up Violet Evergarden. All-time favorite show, as I said before. It focuses super hard on what it means to love, what counts as human, and what someone with no sense of self is capable of doing when they let those around them lift them up. For those of you with time to kill and a want for drama, bust open Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or both versions of Trigun. Both have got a really good mix of goofy slapstick and deathly serious tension, but are also decently long and do a great job of keeping you hooked. On that note, I would also recommend the case study of Vanitas, but that's really a show you can only watch if you're really into vampires. If you are, then absolutely go take a look. Vanitas, both Castlevanias, and No Vampire No Happy Ending are each super interesting takes on vampirism as a concept. If the length of these shows does have you biting your nails, then Cosmic Princess Kaguya, Carol and Tuesday, and Land of the Lustrous are probably safe bets. All three of them are also pretty lighter in terms of tone, with Carol and Tuesday following a duet of singers making songs in a world where music is automatically generated. Kaguya is a retelling of The Bamboo Cutter, but with a delightfully modern spin and a climax that'll leave you starstruck. Land of the Lustrous isn't something I've actually seen, and neither is Carol and Tuesday, but I know it's a one-season show with a very unique style and a bunch of rock people trying to survive alien invaders from the moon. And if none of those IPs I mentioned sound appealing to you, then you have nothing left but to go find something for yourself. Don't let a stranger like me order you around. If you're still here, remember, all I ask is that you do genuinely give new things a try. Whether it be an indie game, a new show, or a book series, or even listening to someone. You'll learn a lot from the people you disagree with. I'll see you around. Take it easy. Sorry if that was a rough introduction. My name's Razzie, and I'm the person behind the channel. Whew, that video took a long time to come out. If you are one of my teachers, one of my good buddies, one of my friends, please do not come after me. I know. This video has been in development since, I believe, late May, and it is now August. I have since graduated high school, and I'm about to go to college in the time that this video took to come out. But regardless, I had a lot of fun making it, and thank you for sticking around and watching it. That really does mean a lot to me, especially considering, well, you saw what YouTube is doing to their monetization policy soon. I don't want to get into the weeds of that. But again, thank you very much, and I hope to see you around in my next video where I talk about my favorite Roblox game. Yeah, isn't that awesome? I promise you it's not anything horrible. Roblox is a terrible company, I agree, but there is one specific game I play that I really enjoy. And I hope that you actually do get into something anime adjacent or just try something new in general. There's a lot of really cool stuff out there that is just completely undiscovered, unexplored, unseen, that really deserves your attention. Like my channel, like and subscribe. I'll leave you alone. You have a nice night, alright? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart, and I hope sincerely that you find something that, you know, really catches your fancy. Have a nice night. Thank you very much.